Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Lake back with another video. And in today's video we got Jupiter's Legacy 2021 review here on the channel. So yeah, Jupiter's Legacy. I finally got around to watching this show, and I gotta say, it's definitely an interesting show. Uh yeah, my apologies if it's a bit late. It came out a couple weeks ago. Yeah, my apologies for kind of the video coming out late, a little bit later. But anyways, I guess let's get into it. There's a few things to talk about in this video, but yeah, and my review. So yeah, Jupiter's Legacy. No, the plot line behind the show is kind of kids kind of trying to live up to the legacy of their superhero parents. They're just the greatest superheroes and all that, and just trying to live up to their kind of legacy. Uh, So yeah, I thought that was an interesting plot point. I mean, I was pretty interested in to see what was going on with the show. Uh, but anyways, let's get into what I have to say about this. So I thought the concept again was pretty interesting, and it was executed. That's another thing. The way it was executed, I thought it was executed decently. I can't even lie. I didn't really like too much of it. The way it was executed, I felt like it was very kind of rushed and just not well put in terms of just executing the plan properly. I mean, I didn't really feel like it was much of that kind of show. I felt it was more of like just an origin story for some of the heroes, and I just didn't really like it. Of course, it's season one here. Could get even better in season two per se or season three. Who knows? It might dive deeper into the whole legacy aspect, but I mean, uh, it just it didn't really execute it too well, and it didn't do too good for season one. Uh, I felt like there was a lot of random scenes. Like I didn't really like how random some of the scenes were. Like especially with some of the chatting and stuff like that. Just I didn't really like it. I thought it felt very stretched. And I mean, it was an 8 episode show with about maybe episodes averaging 40 minutes, 45 minutes per episode. And I mean, I didn't really like that too much. I felt like it was a bit long. Maybe the show should have been like 5 episodes, something like that. Didn't really like that. I didn't really like how they kept going from present time and then going back in time just for our backstory. I mean, I liked how they had a different idea to do the backstory, and I thought they did the backstory pretty well. I thought it was really interesting, personally, but I didn't like the frequent, just keep fast forwarding back, especially when it felt like it didn't really be needed. Like, it would just be like one scene between two characters talking, nothing about how they got their powers, and all of a sudden we just see backstory randomly. And at first I was like, what the hell is this? This makes no sense to me. But then I saw Josh Duhamel's character, and it kind of looked at me and it was like, it clicked in my brain. I was like, oh, that's backstory. So, yeah. And I kind of didn't understand exactly what time periods they were going off of and stuff like that. So that was something else as well. Again, the show did a decent job with backstory. I thought it did pretty well. Acting wise, I mean, it was pretty good. I thought characters did a well. I mean, actors did a really decent job at the acting performances. There was nothing too amazing or like fantastic acting jobs. I mean, Josh Duhamel, he kind of carried the show. I can't even lie, he kind of carried it. Um, just felt like he actually did pretty good. I mean, especially since I haven't really seen him play too many roles of being a more superhero kind of role. He's usually playing like the officer, army soldier kind of thing. It was interesting to see his take on a kind of a superhero here, especially one that's pretty old and stuff like that. So, yeah. Uh, Action scenes were interesting, but there was definitely times, especially with that fight scene with the prison outbreak. I didn't really like the whole action scene there. It felt very low budget, and I just didn't really like that too much. Uh, yeah, not very good. Another thing about the show is a failure to execute a proper message. Like it felt like it was setting up a lot of things. Like it kind of felt like some of the message was of the show was, do superheroes want to follow the rule of no killing? Because it felt like it jumped around that plot point and the legacy plot point a lot in the show. Just with the facts, when per se, with the union and stuff like that, they wanted, half of them wanted to kill, half of them didn't because they realized they were getting losses and stuff like that. They felt like it was an old code and stuff like that. So I felt like they had a plot point for that as well, but it just failure to execute again. I didn't really like that too much. Uh, yeah. Villains were very lackluster and predictable, and just boring as a whole. I mean, I already knew at the start of the show. I was like, I 100% know it's gonna be Brainwave, gonna be the villain at the end. But like again, they've made him a terrible villain. Personally, he made them a very stereotypical villain of just, I want to get back at my brother because he has more power than me, or he's the leader. I didn't really like that too much. I thought that was very stupid. Uh, and also just he didn't really fight at all in the show against them. Same with the villains. It kind of sucked, to be honest with you guys. I didn't really enjoy villain wise. It was very boring. Uh, this show kind of has a realism with the kids. I mean, I kind of understand what the daughter's coming through, but at the same time, I despise the daughter. I can't even lie. I kind of despised her a lot. Just because, just the way she was acting. She acted very whiny and all that. And I mean, I kind of understood where her character was coming from, but then again, she was just too much and being rude to her friends and stuff like that. That was something else. I didn't really enjoy her character at all. She was very just annoying. But I mean, the other kids and stuff like that, I kind of understand. Like they're trying to fill in the shoes and stuff like that. So yeah. Writing. This is kind of a side note, but personally, I felt like this story was it kind of similar. It was kind of similar to Invincible. I can definitely tell. Like, personally, I just finished watching Invincible actually, maybe a week or two earlier, and it felt as if this show has a similar plot line. Because if you realize in Invincible per se, it's a kid trying to fill his father's shoes, and that's the same thing as kind of Jupiter's Legacy, and especially with say fighting and all that, it kind of just felt a little copy-ish, to be honest with you guys. Not saying it's copying, but I don't know. I just didn't really like that too much. I thought it just did it very lackluster. But the overall, the ending kind of saved it. I mean, it gives me hope for season 2 and season 3 if there's ever that comes out. But anyways, my overall rating, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. Wasn't too good. But anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.